Bombshell report exposes how Trump is lining his pockets with campaign. A new investigation reveals how Donald Trump is profiting off Republican campaigns and using his own to rake in millions. And guys, I am so incredibly excited because I want to break down some statistics that show that all of the energy that has been present on the ground can carry us into Election Day. I just got back from the DNC and everybody there was super excited, but this is what matters more in my opinion. The Harris campaign says it's raised $540 million and saw a surge of donations during the DNC. Not only that, but the amount of volunteers in swing states has increased, almost doubled since the DNC. Also, a new poll shows Harris leading Trump by 7 points. So, as great as it is to have energy on the ground at the DNC, actually having donations, volunteers, people voting, that is what actually matters. Before I break all of that down, let's read this article about Donald Trump being exposed for maybe illegally taking advantage of his campaign to funnel money to his businesses. Amid a year of legal woes that added up to roughly $500 million, Donald Trump has been leeching cash from an eyebrow-raising source, his campaign. According to a CNN analysis of federal campaign finance data, Trump and associated political groups have funneled more than $28 million in campaign donations into his business since he first ran for office in 2018. And Donald Trump genuinely cannot do anything right. Let's watch part of CNN's bombshell report because it's honestly embarrassing how much of a grifter Donald Trump is.
My new book, Save America, published by Winning Team Publishing, is now available for order.
In all the ways you already know, former President Trump publicly makes money selling books and Bibles.
God bless the USA Bible.
Gold sneakers.
That's the real deal.
And trading cards.
It's called the America First Collection.
It's at Trump properties like Mar-a-Lago, Trump's opulent Florida home, where Republican campaign dollars are pouring into Trump's own pocket. More than 150 congressional candidates and political groups have spent millions at Trump properties and associated businesses, according to a CNN analysis of federal campaign finance data, with 2024 on track to be the biggest year of spending since 2016. The vast majority of the candidates are Republican and most endorsed by Trump.
So while Donald Trump is losing support among the broader American populace, we still see these MAGA sycophants, these Republicans who are willing to spend millions of dollars not only on Trump's campaign, but at Trump's personal businesses. Other Republicans are reportedly also using their campaign budgets on Trump's businesses in order to earn favor with the conservative populace. This is mind-blowing. Let me read the sentence one more time. Other Republicans are reportedly using their own campaign budgets. They are blowing their own money from their own campaign on Trump's businesses in order to earn favor with the conservative populist. Republican candidates and conservative investors, including Bernie Moreno, former Georgia Senate candidate Herschel Walker, and Kari Lake, you all know Kari Lake, they've spent more on Trump's businesses this year than at any point since 2016, and this isn't a coincidence. They aren't all of a sudden going to Mar-a-Lago to hang out and chill. They are very intentionally placing money in Donald Trump's businesses. Federal campaigns and PACs spent nearly $3.2 million on Trump's properties in the first half of 2024 alone, though 80% of that came from Trump's own campaign funds, as well as political groups aligned with Trump. Caroline Leavitt, a spokesperson for the Trump campaign, said that, quote, committees are paying their fair market rate for all venues and services. I just think that's a weak excuse, but campaign finance experts see the trend as yet another signal that the Republican Party has completely bent the knee to the former reality TV star. As I was saying earlier, the main takeaway from this is that the MAGA movement and the MAGA sycophants are alive and well and are still willing to funnel millions of dollars into Donald Trump. Quote, he's clearly now in complete control of the Republican Party, Daniel Weiner, director of the Brennan Center of Elections and Government Program, told CNN. Quote, patronizing his businesses has become one of the accepted ways that candidates and public officials express their loyalty to the party's leader. Now, I also want to take this opportunity to break down some of the amazing statistics we have seen over the past few weeks. Of course, the energy at the DNC was amazing, but if we can't translate that energy into actual votes and momentum, it doesn't mean anything, but we are. Harris' campaign says it's raised $540 million and saw a massive surge of donations. VP Harris's campaign has raised that much money, and the campaign had no problems getting supporters to open their wallets since President Biden announced on July 21st he was ending his campaign. The campaign said it saw a surge of donations during last week's DNC in Chicago, where Harris and her VP running mate accepted their nominations. Quote, just before Vice President Harris's acceptance speech on Thursday, we officially crossed the $500 million mark. Campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon wrote in a memo released by the campaign on Sunday. Immediately after her speech, we saw our best fundraising hour since launch day. Trump has also proven to be a formidable fundraiser, but appears to be outpaced in her month-old campaign. So VP Harris is already outpacing Trump over the past month. But again, we don't want to underestimate how much Trump does raise, because he has raised a good $300-400 million as well. So Trump isn't completely out of the race. We should not make that mistake. Trump's campaign and its related affiliates announced earlier this month that they had raised $130 million in July, less than what Harris took into her White House bid's opening week. Trump's campaign reported $327 million in cash on hand at the start of August, and obviously VP Harris has an advantage, but Trump does have money. He has money. And it's also worth pointing out that Hillary Clinton had a massive fundraising advantage over Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton spent a lot more money than Donald Trump, and we know how that turned out. So my broader point here is, please do not get complacent, even though this poll is also amazing. Harris leading Trump by 7 points in new poll. Vice President Harris holds a 7-point edge over former President Trump nationally in a new poll, marking the latest gain for the Democratic presidential candidate as the election approaches. A survey from Farley University released last Friday found Harris leading Trump with 50% to 43% nationally, while 47% of respondents said they will vote for somebody else. And I'd really like to show you guys the 538 model and where we have been over the past few weeks. So the last time I checked this with you guys, I believe I was live streaming around August 10th. So if we go back to August 10th, VP Harris was ahead by 2.3 points. Now, about 15 days later, VP Harris is ahead by almost 4 points. I mean, we're getting there. It's 3.6. We saw 3.7 for a day, but now that Kennedy has dropped out, you can see Kennedy has discontinued his bid right here. I do think VP Harris should be ahead by a solid 5 to 6 percentage points. It's going to take time. The DNC bounce is going to take time. All the money that they're spending, it's going to take time to actually show up in the polls. But guys, this is an amazing, amazing improvement from where President Biden was, and VP Harris is actually firmly a few points ahead. So Harris is leading Trump 50% to 43%, but with independents who do not lean toward either party, Harris still leads Trump by a smaller margin, 38 to 33%, and this election will be won at the margins with the independents. Harris holds a large lead among self-identified liberals, 87 to 10%, along with progressives, 93 to 5%. Any liberal that is voting for Donald Trump, these 10% of liberals that are voting for Donald Trump are not real liberals. Moderates, 62 to 30%. The former president, meanwhile, leads among conservatives, 76 to 19%. Those are some brutal numbers right there. Only 76% of conservatives support Trump. Meanwhile, 87% of liberals support Harris. Trump saw his strongest support among men, quote, who hold traditionally masculine identities, which is pretty backwards because Donald Trump is the farthest thing from masculine possible. All he does is whine and act like everything is rigged against him. Quote, Trump has built his political career around a very specific performance of whiteness and masculinity, Dan Cassino, a professor of government and politics, said. And I actually do agree. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans have very much so centered their entire identity around being a white campaign, and it's pretty disgusting. If you guys enjoyed this video, all that I ask is that you leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of this beautiful community that we're building. Most importantly, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.